Not only the NLC president, we have hundreds of people who are being prosecuted for treason for partaking in the hunger protest. How do you charge people for treason for a protest against, the destruction of their economic livelihood? At the same time they went for Ajero, they also went to Saharatv. Is that the same case with Saharatv? There was a journalist called Shoyinka who came and was arrested. Yes. We are moving back to the days of Abacha if we were not careful. And that's why we are very concerned, and we are asking for the immediate release of those who are locked up for treason. Even if you are violent during protests, you could be charged for willful destruction of property and other things, but never treason. And the question that we have to ask is that, who is even treasonable here? Because what would Nigerians are actually facing, the economic sabotage, because I would say it's economic sabotage when you have cut our real wages by over half. There's inflation, and this is, they keep on telling us it's economic reforms, whereas we see it as economic sabotage. The main problems we have in Nigeria are the imports and petrol. Now, out of our imports, 1/3, at least about $21 billion is spent on importation of fuels and oils. The second highest ticket is on vehicles. Now, this is a government that came in within 100 days. We would have expected that at least 55% of that import bill could be taken care of. Our refineries have gobbled over 20 billion. Nothing is happening. And then we also have these stories come out with Dangote's refinery. So what do you expect the people of Nigeria to say? If you do something that is against our national interest, our national economic interest, then it's tantamount to economic treason. Even the president and APC, because they come out and say there's some foreign involvement, they were being sponsored. But APC and the government, we know in 2014 when President Jonathan came out and said they were being supported by foreign institutions, and we know that millions were paid to push the corruption awareness program. Nobody arrested them for treason. So how can you now come back and say, even if you had some foreign sponsorship, which happens with all the CLOs, you understand, there are no weapons being exchanged. It's not a matter of ideology. People are hungry. So how can you keep nearly 1,000 people, as we hear, in prison on treason? Ajero and NLC have, they have enough power to stop the government from harassing President Ajero. But what about those protesters who are being charged for treason? That is the main concern of Afenifere, because I came to this studio and it said we support their inalienable rights to protest, especially in this case where their economic livelihoods have been destroyed under the pretense of an economic reform program, which is fallacious. We went through this with Buhari for 8 years, and then we started this, which is far more worse, you understand, within 1 year. And you're telling us economic reforms. What economic reforms are you making? What you should have done is bring down our import bill by at least 50% within 100 days. You didn't do that.
How would you have done that?
How we would have done that?
Yes.
By make sure, like I said, 33% of that import bill is based on on fuels and oils, which we can produce here. You understand? Which our refineries and this refinery could produce, and which even he said in his manifesto that he would not remove until those refineries work. So if a serious government comes into power within 100 days, I expect those refineries to work. Now, we've been having excuses, but from what we have seen now that's happening now is that there are vested interest not to make those refineries work.